At the height of their power, the Mycenaean kings believed their world was unbreakable. Their walls were thick, their fleets unmatched, their wealth overflowing. Gold filled their tombs. Their names were spoken in foreign courts from Egypt to Anatolia. But in a single generation, all of it began to crumble. Cities burned. Palaces fell silent. Entire populations vanished as if swallowed by the earth itself. How does a civilization that ruled the seas disappear almost overnight? By 1200 BCE, warning signs flickered across the Mycenaean world. Trade routes faltered, grain prices soared, and for the first time in centuries, linear B tablets recorded unusual events: border attacks, resource shortages, rising unrest. The bureaucratic machine that tracked every detail of palace life suddenly showed cracks in its perfect records. Something was shifting, everyone felt it, but the Mycenaean elite continued expanding their palaces as if hoping stone walls could silence a world in crisis. They built new fortifications, thicker, higher, more desperate, stockpiled weapons, trained more soldiers, reinforced gates that had never needed reinforcement before. Their obsession with defense hints at a truth their records never say outright. They knew something dangerous was coming. They just didn't know it would come from everywhere at once. Then the storms began. Not storms of nature, storms of war. Mysterious populations known only as the Sea Peoples surged across the Mediterranean like a tidal wave, destroying cities from Anatolia to Egypt. Ancient empires that had stood for centuries fell within years. The Hittite Empire collapsed. Egyptian pharaohs barely survived. Syria burned. Refugees flooded the Aegean. Trade collapsed. Supply chains shattered. And one by one, the Mycenaean citadels fell to fire. Archaeologists still find the evidence: charred beams and collapsed battlements, frozen in time. Some sites show signs of desperate last battles, arrowheads embedded in walls, bodies hastily buried in mass graves. Others reveal no struggle at all, as if their people simply abandoned them in panic, fleeing into the mountains. Yet no single cause explains the collapse. Famine, drought, earthquakes, invasions, internal revolt. Every theory tells only part of the story. And the strangest piece? Some palaces burned twice, as if once wasn't enough. For centuries, the collapse seemed like a tragic accident of history, a perfect storm of bad luck and foreign invasion. But recent discoveries suggest something darker. The Mycenaean world may have been falling apart from within long before any invader arrived. Clay tablets reveal rising corruption, infighting among royal families, and stockpiles of weapons far larger than needed for external defense. Palace workshops were producing swords and spearheads in unprecedented numbers, not for foreign wars, but for something closer to home. And in several sites, forensic analysis shows the fires that destroyed palaces started from the inside, deliberately set by people who knew the layout intimately. Could rival factions have torched their own seats of power? Were foreign mercenaries turned loose by desperate kings? Or was the entire system so strained, so fragile, that it simply imploded on itself? The collapse wasn't just an invasion from outside. It may have been a self-inflicted extinction event, the Greeks destroying themselves. By 1100 BCE, the great citadels, Mycenae, Pylos, Thebes, Tiryns, were either abandoned or destroyed. Linear B writing vanished overnight. Sophisticated craftsmanship declined. populations shrank by as much as 90% in some regions. International trade ceased. The palace economies evaporated. It was as if someone had dimmed the lights on the entire Greek world. For the next 300 years, Greece fell into what historians call the Dark Age, a time with few artifacts, little writing, almost no signs of complex society. Villages replaced citadels. Bronze gave way to iron. Kings became chieftains, then memories, then myths. But this darkness didn't erase everything. Oral tradition survived, carried by traveling bards and village elders. Fragments of memory passed from generation to generation. Stories of fallen kings, burning cities, impossible heroes, and a golden age that once was. These stories, refined, embellished, transformed over centuries, would later become the heartbeat of Greek mythology. The Iliad, the Odyssey, the sagas that would define Western literature. The collapse became legend. The Bronze Age collapse nearly erased Greece from history. Yet in that vacuum, something unexpected happened. Something that couldn't have happened under the Mycenaean kings. New communities formed, old hierarchies dissolved, and scattered survivors began rebuilding, not as subjects of distant palaces, not as servants of warrior kings, but as something new, something the world had never seen before. From the ashes of a lost world, the next chapter of Greece would rise, one shaped not by kings or citadels, but by ordinary people forging a fresh identity. Communities governing themselves, citizens, not subjects. Because the end of the Mycenaeans was not the end of Greece. It was the beginning of a transformation that would echo for millennia and change the world forever.